Warm greetings, everybody. This is Priyanca from India, and I'm very glad to receive the opportunity by Judyspiration, and my heartfelt congratulations to the entire team led by Asanya. Today, I would like to give in my insights on the topic role of youth in global peace and national security. As a youth, I would recognize that this is the greatest power of all of us together, which has a great potential, great energy, and great insights and great ideas together. The current trend of youth being very active on every social media needs to be channeled by diverting their energy towards national integration and building a pluralistic society. These days, unfortunately, we do not expose our youth to even the rudimentary aspects of peace and national security and its impact on the society. Besides these substantial issues like the survivability of nation states, it is important to have the youth understand the basic concept of global peace and national security and the huge impact it has on both human security and the economic growth. This is even more important for a country that has a very young demographic profile. Not only it would empower them, but also instill a greater sense of patriotism in them. This is not too ambitious. Such an initiative would aim to encourage and expose the youth to the very basis of peace, life and its national security, and make them realize that both require engagement of all citizens, as it is a shared responsibility. The world, it faces several challenges to its security, both from internal and external sources. As on date, globally, there are over hundreds of challenges, all subconventional threats that will be far more relevant to all countries than ever before. Coming closer to our home country, the proxy war, you would have heard more about them. The spread of the terror networks in the subcontinents make the management of the internal and external security challenges increasingly complex, especially since they are closely intertwined. Besides, the terrorists of today have acquired all the expertise required, right from cyberspace to derail their IT-dependent facilities. They target their economic, transportation, communication, command, control, and all their educational institutions. They have everything in their hand. All these threats and their impact on economic growth and human security are all too visible to each citizen all around their home country, adding the complex nature of developing and underdeveloped countries with its vastness towards illiteracy, multiplying poverty, and the enormous massive unemployment during this pandemic, which has caused demographic divide. The security forces, they are not alone able to prevent the attacks by terrorists. They are not able to control the unrest. They are not able to control the conflicts around. In addition to these various measures like improving intelligence, surveillance, security, the coordination among the security forces have not met to every provision of basic facilities and employment of the youth. We have so much to do to develop and bring in peace, and we also need to sensitize our society, especially we, the fellow youth with me, to such threats and their manifestations. If you did go back to the early last days of 2015 December, the UN Security Council had adopted the first ever milestone resolution on youth, peace and security. It recognizes the importance of focusing on the role of young men and women in peace building and countering violence. This had been their main agenda. This was the theme of the United Nations Security Council. It would be prudent to mention that some foreign countries already have global peace as well as national security, community outreach initiatives, or any similar and various schemes which actively engage with the ethnic, cultural as well as the religious communities. For an example, let's take Israel. Every adult is required to serve in the military, though for different reasons people are fully conscious of their responsibilities. These results are also visible to all around us. Let me brief you a small concept which will boost our eagerness towards social empowerment. That is called PIE concept, which is performance, image and exposure. Basically, when they are all weighed together, it would be 60% exposure, 30% image and 10% performance. When we come to performance, it is like an entry ticket. It acts as a reputation builder. Performance starts from your legacy. They confirm your ability to take on more responsibilities. Performance induces us to grow above as the standard increases. Coming to image, it is the message you send before you speak, whether it is intentional or not. It's like basically your personal brand. Every interaction counts, so make sure all are positive. The next one is exposure. Exposure has a huge impact. It reveals your performance to others as well as the world around you. It makes you visible to those who can influence towards the country as well as the fellow states' global walk towards their sustainable development in various arenas. Exposure can be enhanced from networking, social awareness campaigns, and there are much more options to do it. After all, engaging youth from all communities all around the world would empower and encourage them to play a larger role in national security. Given the current reality wherein the youth between the age of 15 to 25 are being indoctrinated, it would also help them to wean away from militant or fundamentalist organizations. The same youth in the same age background, the same age bracket, are unfortunately a few of them, a group of them, are involved in large-scale violence. This is because due to the instigation by some individuals, they can be group of people or they can even include political parties. All such actions are highly detrimental to national well-being and national security. Under these circumstances, it would not be out of place to give serious thought to promote awareness about challenges to national security. This would achieve uniformity in imparting instructions and prevent misuse of this particular platform. They could organize engrossing and interactive workshops on national security and this varied threats, national integration, strengths of diversity in a country, leadership, team spirit, team building activities would also, bring in the impulse of your bodies. The multiple challenges, including security-related ones, posed by hyper-urbanization would also require the attention of the ruling government. As a long-term measure, this would be a significant step among other measures which involve the community through the youth to promote a pluralistic society, monitor unlawful activities, prevent violence, promote national security, and also automatically withstand the global peace of the world. To conclude, I would advise all my fellow citizens, all my friends around the world, define your purpose in the context of what's around you. I repeat, define your purpose in the context of what's around you. Be curious to know more. Be curious to think about what is actually happening in your community. Take an interest. Be present. Go live. Know thy world. Know thy country. Know thy company. Know thy people. Know thyself. Understand why you are here on this world. I wind up with a saying by Alan Kay. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. Let's all gear up together to invent for the sooner, better world for all of us to live in. Thank you all.